Hey guys, it's Carol and thank you for stopping by for a stitching update. I have learned something about myself this month, and that is monogamous stitching is not my friend. In no way, shape, or form. If I am trying to kill my desire to do any cross stitching, apparently sticking to one project is the way to do it. Didn't get any amount of the stitching done that I wanted to, but I managed to read almost 2,000 pages of various novels. Like, I was going out of my way to not cross-stitch. I'm not proud of that. But once I decided to get past the idea that I had to work on only one project and started picking stuff up this week, all of a sudden it's like, oh, I love stitching again. Why did I do this to myself? Because I do this to myself, like, all the time. I'm sure going back, like, what, I'm on Flosstube 63? That's a guess. But if you go back to the beginning when I was like using my potato camera on my phone, I think I said delete that. I don't know like that. Anyway, yeah. So like, I think I do this routinely. I will get a bee in my bonnet that I need to really super focus on a project, and I can, but then I don't. It's not fun. I shouldn't do it. So this week was the week that I decided to be like, well, I'm really struggling to cross stitch on the thing I'm supposed to be stitching on, so why don't I just go ahead and stitch on the things I'm not supposed to be stitching on? And lo and behold, they were way more fun. That's what I really wanted to stitch. I probably should have been doing that all along. And then the flip side of that is by stitching on the things I'm not supposed to be stitching on, I got more stitching done on the thing I was supposed to be stitching on than when I focused on it in the first place. There's a lesson there. I will fail to learn it yet again. That's okay. So, with that, let's just jump right into the whips. First up, Mirabilia Designs Winter Queen. Here's where she was last time. And this is where she is today. So I picked this up 2 days ago, and I did not think that I was gonna, like, put a lot of time into it. I was really looking originally going like, okay, this DMC 415 here, I had a strand that was hanging off because I'd had to frog it right before I filmed my last video when I did it at Halloween, and I fixed the glitch over here. I miscounted by 1 row, and I always love it when I say, oh, just 1 row. It was 3 stitches that I had not counted, properly going down the column. Everything was messed up. I had some of the DMC, I believe it's 762, that's supposed to come off of here. It was going to be in the wrong spot. Went ahead and pulled that. Okay. Point being, I had to frog a little bit. It really wasn't that big of a deal, but I had this, like I said, most of this hanging out. So I went ahead, stitched that back in. Okay, that was great. And then I was like, well, what else do I want to do? And then I realized and I wasn't going to pull out any more of the grays, but what I really wanted to do was pull out this 341 and just stitch. And so this was up here, filled in a bunch here, filled in the white that was basically to finish, we'll call this a swoop. I don't know, that particular fold of fabric, as you can see how it kind of comes this way. Anyway, so it's white, the white combined with 341 and just 341. And so I was just like, okay, we're gonna do just that. And that's what I focused on. It was exactly what I needed. These beautiful winter feeling colors. I don't know, I love the blue for this. It is so, it's not bright, although it is actually, like, if you pull out the skein and look at it, it's a pretty bright medium blue. Maybe a little on the light side for medium, but it's not light blue. I don't even know what DMC themselves calls it. Don't know, don't care, kind of not germane to this part of the conversation. Just that I wanted to fill in with the colors, and I didn't want to get like over here. I really need to pull out the whisper, didn't want to deal with that. I was just kind of going for, honestly, some big blocks of stitching, just getting a couple hundred stitches in here so that there was progress. And then I can look at it and say, okay, it's Thanksgiving. I have a month until New Year's because Thanksgiving's late this year. Are you ready for Christmas? Because I'm not ready for Christmas. Still gotta get my shopping done. All of that aside, I was like, okay, I can get this done in the next month, but in order for me to do it, I do need to sit down and just kind of knock out some, like this stitching right here, it is about 27 X's across. I think that's what I'm up to. I don't know. Honestly, I stitch this side, and then I just fill in because it's way easier for me than bothering to count each of these individual rows. But the point is, it adds up. Like, my strands of floss. This was, I think, from the part that I put in here was 4 lengths, and since this is 2/2, because I'm doing it on 32 count, so like I said, 4 lengths, but it was actually 8 strands. But it didn't feel like I got that far, and then I step back, look at it, and go, oh, I've got a ton done. But I do have still, I mean, I have a decent, I mean, there's still about 50-60 rows of stitching down to the bottom. I mean, it's narrowing up, then it has a piece that goes off here. Point being, if I intend on getting this done, I do need to sit, I need to take the time and really just, and what I'm doing is, this is the one I'm using as going to be my rotation with my stockings. I hope that makes sense. Just because this one, it's, again, I want to get it done, and it is kind of easy stitching, so it really, I don't know, it speaks to me right now. And I'm just, even though, again, I haven't put a huge amount of time on this, I am really pleased with how this stitching is coming through. I really hope to get, I have my beading thread still hanging off here, really hoping to get some more of the beading done before I sit down and film next. So the project that I decided I probably needed to do just to make me feel better about stitching, I pulled out Summer House Stitch Works Pear and Rosemary. Here's where it was last time. And this is today. I'm really happy with the fact that basically this top quarter is done with the exception of 3 stitches on this pair, but I'm really happy with how it's coming out. I can actually see the whites. I don't know if they're supposed to be snowflakes or stars or something. In person, the stuff that is surrounding these pairs actually pops. Not the strongest, but it does a pretty good job. This is a really like small piece, so I don't know how well any of it translates to the camera, but I don't know. I finished the border here, have some Smyrna cross stitches here. This is the top of the ampersand, so at least I'm now down into a new part of the project. These I think are supposed to be rosemary, so it doesn't look like much now, but it's coming along, it's cute, and I was happy that I pulled it out because I just really needed to change the pace from me stitching on only one project like it was a punishment. The first of that one project is this Dimension stocking kit. This is Reindeer and Hedgehog, and I had been working on this for my great Christmas stocking project. Here's where it was last time. This is where I made it to. You'll note, this stocking is not yet done. The hedgehog is mostly done. The presents are pretty good. Need to finish out the sled. There's a little bird over here with the letter and all the back stitching. This one's not that back stitch intensive, but it does take time and I haven't done it yet. And it's just, I got to the point where every time I picked this up, I just didn't even want to stitch. I wanted to pretend I didn't know what stitching was and that I had not started this project and everything about it, not like this project, but the entire stocking thing. And it wasn't because it's not cute. It's insanely cute. I was on burnout. And that was probably, I was back up here when I filmed at Halloween, so I probably spent a week getting all of this done, and then I needed to do something else. So my original plan if I'm not gonna work on this stocking, I'll just work on the next stocking. But in the meantime, I put this one down, and I haven't touched it in like 2.5 weeks. Not doing so good there. Oops. It's really cute though. I mean, I love it. It's just, it's not done. I need it to be done. But I mean, I did decide that the good idea was I'll just pull out the next stocking. So this is the Woodland Stack stocking. This is also Dimensions kit. The art is by Karen Ty Bentley. And went ahead and started this, I think around November 5th. That sounds about right. So I haven't gotten very far. Yeah, this is my start. Yeah. It's okay. All of the fox is stitches are in. I just need to do the back stitching. The bunny needs the white for the ears and the back stitching. This is a deer. The deer has a nose. The deer's face will be here, and I need to fill it in. This, I keep telling myself, this will go faster, this will go faster. It is not going faster. When I kind of blew my Halloween deadline, I was like, okay, well, Thanksgiving, I can surely get this done by Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's in 2 days. I am not getting this done by Thanksgiving. I'm not getting the other one done by Thanksgiving. Like, I need to get these done, and in stocking form, we decorate the day after Thanksgiving. So I guess initially the stockings are not going to be the brand new ones. Now I'm kind of hoping I can get them up by like December 10th. And I say December 10th, and then watch the deadline slide. And if I get them done by Christmas, I'm going to be ecstatic, but also kind of feel a little bit like a failure. And I don't know how I feel like that, but this is so cute. Like, that's the thing. It's adorable. It's fun. This one's a really nice and easy stitch. Like, this tree is actually all back stitched. The stars were super fun because the long stitches are like, it's 2 threads, so it really fills in, like, there's some dimensionality going on here that's really cool. I need to do it, but because I had gotten so stuck on the idea that I had to only work on this, I would look at it and pick up. I'd put in like, at one point I have, for one length of floss, it took me 4 days to finish it because I would just find anything else that needed to be done that was not this. And I was really, really questioning, do I even like cross stitching? Like, wow, that's kind of like some catastrophic thinking. I'm aware of that, but it was just, I realized that my self-imposed goals can be so demanding, and then I am like a child in my own head, like, I don't want to do the thing that I said would be a great idea. And they are a great idea, and they really are cute, but oh man. So here's hoping that I get really good progress on this, and when I come back and film next week, that it goes like that. You'll see a lot of progress and be like, oh, okay, she was just really feeling whiny when she was filming the week of Thanksgiving. And I'm really hoping that that is what it ends up being. But in the meantime, it's funny, I have no back stitching on the reindeer and hedgehog, but I already started the back stitching because I wanted to see the fox's face. The smile it kind of made my day, so I needed that. I think it's super cute. I mean, it's this one is the real cross stitching pretty much ends here with the top of the bunny. A lot of it fills in up here it's a lot of back stitching all the snowflakes, and there are some daisy stitches, which I've never done before. The daisy stitches, lazy daisies, whatever, it's where you make the looping a hole, you come up at B to kind of hold the whole thing open. We'll see how I do with that, because that'll be new. So the stitching on this isn't difficult. It's just that when I'm not feeling like doing it, I get nothing done. So I think I can learn, and the way I'm kind of hoping that what I'm going to do in the next week, and I'm going to film again next Tuesday, so kind of excited about that. Like, I finally have a schedule. It's great. This is going to be my primary project, but I'm going to allow myself to rotate with a fun project every day. And it's like, if I do a little bit of fun project, I do more on this. And I'm thinking that will be the ticket to really getting this one done. We'll see. It may work, it may not work, but on the plus side, it'll mean that I can get more work done on Winter Queen and this at the same time. I don't know. We'll find out in a week if it worked. But I am planning on basically touching this every single day for the next week. Hopefully for like an hour minimum every day. 7 hours of work should go a pretty good distance. Like, this deer should definitely get done. I say should, and then I'm over here crossing my fingers so we can tell how much I really am believing in myself right now. Whoops. Oh, well, let's move on to more fun projects then, shall we? The weather has finally turned into real fall here, and it's going to be like almost winter-like this weekend. But I've been stitching very wintry things thanks to the stockings, so I wanted something completely unseasonable, and this is one I'm kind of hoping to finish next year. It's Rosewood Manor Tremina Tulips. Here's where it was last time. And this is where I got to. So this is the far left edge. I'm kind of excited. It's funny to me that I must have messed up on finding center, because the margin over here is definitely smaller than the margin over here. Don't know how I did that. I mean, at least the top I got because it's not cut evenly, but the sides were Okay, so I kind of messed that up. It's not like huge because the smaller margin's over here and it looks fine, but it's just funny to me that I managed to do that. But I have decided on this one to really work on finishing motifs. So this one is almost 100, there's like 4 stitches missing in it. So I'm gonna finish this motif, and then I'm gonna finish this motif. Finish the back stitching here, then go to here, finish the motif. So I'm really gonna try to do this one as a motif by motif piece. But it was a lot of fun. It was just really nice to have something completely cheerful, sunny, like warm weather. And I don't know if it's because I'm getting older, but it's when the weather gets cold. Actually, it's not even the weather. The weather can be, it's been warm, like really nice for fall. And I think it's the light. It's actually me missing the light, because that I definitely feel each and every day. I've always struggled with the month of November. It's the month where, when I was a kid, I didn't really like Thanksgiving that much. So it wasn't the holiday to look forward to, although I did get 2 days off of school. In the, you know that the world is a different place, my kids now get 3 days off of school because so many people would take their early dismissal on Wednesday and just travel anyway. So they gave up and they just don't go to school tomorrow. But November can be a hard one. I feel the lack of light most acutely, but the weather can be nice enough that you still want to be like outside. I don't know. It's one of those that can like definitely, like doing something like this just really made me feel upbeat and vibrant in a way that I desperately needed. And it was nice. It worked as, again, a palette cleanser. And I'm totally glad I did it. And like I said, I really can see where I'm going with this one. It's a third of the way done. And again, I see this one as a finish for next year. Last up is the one that is actually weirdly seasonally appropriate. And I don't know that I'm that obsessed with seasonal stitching, but apparently I've been over the last month. And this is Teresa Wentzler, Fall Carousel Horse. Here's what it was last time. This is my progress. You'll note I was working on filling in pretty much through here. Actually, this is almost, I found a couple of quarter stitches that are missing and I need to fill in, but on the whole, this is ready for back stitching. So you'll see that I started doing all the back stitching of these leaves up through here, kind of filled in some more of the neck. It's just, I'm taking this one as very much of a, if I'm trying to figure out what I want to work on, because there's bunch of different colors and it's easy to get pulled in a bunch of directions, is I am trying to get up to the horse's head, but I am filling in everything as I go along, because again, when you miss those quarter stitches, they are hard to tell and it just doesn't seem fair to me, like, to not do it right. So I am just kind of like, oh, I am kind of from right to left, like kind of going up, and the first thing I run into, so whatever this color is right here, and I think it's one of the main colors, I'll do next, and it'll fill in. And then as I fill stuff in, I've also been just kind of trying to fill in the back stitching because there's a lot of it. And it looks kind of, if you contrast like what this looks like to like these, like they look nice, but it looks just so much better once the back stitching gets done. And it's a Teresa Wentzler, there's like almost as much back stitching as far as actual like stitching. So do yourself a favor, do it as you go along. And I don't know, not a lot to say about this one, just that when doing quarter stitches, and right through here finishing this stuff up is a lot of quarter stitches. Up here is thankfully like a bunch of like actually full X's. It was so exciting when I got to the row. I was like, oh, I get to do like 4 full X's in a row. Oh, the next row is 3. And it just felt like, wow, I'm going so fast, because when you have all the ones where you're making sure that you get the quarters right, it takes longer. But this is just, oh, it's beautiful. I kind of like, the more I pick it up and the more I mess with it, even though it's a lot of detail work and it can sometimes feel like it goes slow, I love all of the detail that has to be thought about, making sure you do it. I don't know, it's a different kind of stitch, but it is a very rewarding one. So I'm like, kind of like, oh, when can I start more Teresa Wentzler projects that will take me 1,000 years to finish? I don't need to start more projects. I have enough. Yes, and I'm also, I don't know if it's the end of the year, but I'm getting like a really bad case of starteritis on projects that I want to work on and not things that I've decided should be done. So that's not helping either. I like need to plan my next year. I haven't done it yet. I didn't do a great job of planning this last year as far as stitching, so I don't know if I want to like set myself up for disappointment yet. I'll figure that out in December. But in the meantime, thank you for being here. I was feeling very rambly today. I'm sorry about that. I had been planning on doing I'm gonna get back into weekly filming, and when I was doing the monogamous stitching on the stockings, I was like, I don't have anything to show. And I felt bad. And then it was like I was letting that bad feeling, it's nothing to do with filming for the Flosstube, but just I'm not even getting as far as I wanted on the stockings. Like, it was just really like, I'm struggling to feel the joy. So like sitting here right now and all of a sudden, seriously, all of I am feeling the joy of stitching again is only in the last 4 days. It's amazing. Like all of these side projects that are not the stockings, I shared 7 today. Is that 7? 2 stockings, Winter Queen, this. Okay. Out of the 4 like non-stocking projects that I've shared today, I did them all in the last 4 days. Like this is really like, and it's like, oh, I love all of this again. I want to do it all. So yeah, so thank you for like putting up with the rambling. I hopefully will be a little more like coherent next week, have like good progress and have like good stories, and remember to tell you, like I'd even started trying to do all my counting percentages again. It wasn't going to happen for today's video, but I should have it for next week's. I'm hoping. Anyway, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate your time, your energy, your likes, your subscribes, all of it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I hope that I will see you back here next time. Have a great week. Take care. Happy Thanksgiving. Make your own cranberry sauce if you don't. Making cranberry sauce is the easiest thing in the world, and it's super good for you, and it's way better than anything comes in a can. That's my public service announcement for the holiday. Anyway, I will see you next time. Bye.